Hey guys, Jason here with a word to the wise. Have to forgive me, I'm a little beat down today. I've been wanting to kind of get this kind of thought out. Looking at, so now we have the new president in line to be put in place in January. You know, still got another 2 months of waiting. So today's the 20th of November. And you see how, and I said this in the past, it's always interesting how the presidents exit and leave a mess usually for the next guy. So it's kind of a way of them just sliding a whole bunch of this and that onto the next guy's plate. And what do we have going on now is there's a lot of talk about Ukraine escalating. Now we're poking the bear over there a little bit more, and he's speaking up a little bit more, so things can rise and fall, of course, and you know, always talks on the table, everybody talking nukes, and has anybody ever seen a nuke? You know, I always think that, like, is it just like a little bargaining chip? And is it just something that, like, all these guys eating at the same table and they just throw that out there to get the public worked up? And through propaganda, it changes markets. You know, people rush to the store, they're buying canned goods and bottled waters, and maybe that's something that they want you to have anyway. You know, there's all this talk about health issues, and you know what, if you're going out and eating out of boxes and cans, well, you're eating the stuff that you didn't want to eat or isn't healthy, but now they're trying to, you know, get you to store it on your shelves. And what are you going to do? Eventually, you're probably going to eat it. Half those ingredients you can't even buy in a grocery store to make, you know, those kinds of items, it seems. There's always something I always find just wild, you know, but it's part of our food, and yet you can't even buy the stuff. So you have Biden kind of, you know, going down this thing, and of course, if he starts World War III or goes in, you know, starts some sort of big trouble, and then he's out of, you know. But on the flip side of this whole thing, the scenario, if some sort of war breaks out, he's the commander in chief, and he, I believe, doesn't have to step down. Now imagine causing all this problem, and then him saying, well, I'm the commander in chief, and until they get these things resolved, I stay in office. And then he says, oh, well, and somebody said this, and I blew my mind. And then imagine his health is in question, which then puts who into president? Kamala Harris. Even though she wasn't voted for. Now imagine what kind of a tear that would cause all across the nation and possibly the world, to say, well, you allowed this thing after you were leaving office, after you've given billions of dollars, all sorts of weaponry. Now you're stepping up the game before you're getting ready to step out of office, and your mental health has been in question, which also kept you from running for president again, because you were saying to yourself you were unfit. So you stepped aside and Kamala came in. Now just imagine, put that into a spin. Be like a Hollywood movie. Now, on the flip side of that, you have Trump going warp speed about trying to get all these people that are going to help, and how they're talking in front of the camera, saying how they're going to make things better and what they're going to change, and get rid of all the wasted spending and this and that. And maybe they could say that this is a deep state ploy, you know, so they're going to try to keep all these guys from getting into offices, so that way they can't change things. And it could be the industrial military complex, or however they want to word it. And it could all just be part of the show. I always think that in my head, that they're all eating at the same table and it's all just a big show. Might not be. You know, they might all be trying to do something better. They're getting put in place, but it's interesting how a lot of these guys were all in front of the cameras over the last 3 or 4 years anyway. And Musk especially, I think I made a video a couple months ago talking about the stranded astronauts on the ISS, and so now Musk put together a rescue mission for that. And I've tried to sit and watch the videos to see how that space rescue would look. And here they are in space traveling, you know, but it's like, I want to find the video where you see the ISS in the distance and it rolls all the way up to the door and locks in, the door opens. But every single time when you're watching these things, what do you get? You know, oh, you know, you're traveling across space. Oh, well, here, you know, it just cuts into some sort of scene like, oh, you can see it's coming at us and the door's open in the front, the knob or the tip, and it's going to connect with the ISS. And so I'm like, okay, let's see it drive right up to the front door and do it then. Cuts camera. Before you know it, all you're watching is this. It's like connected to the bomb bay doors. Oh, yeah. And then it's like, you know, they're inside and it's like, you know, you never can just get a full video of what that you're trying to show people. And instead you have all these camera angles and all of them stink when the time comes. But here again, all done. Save the people. I don't know when this happened because there's so many videos that say they're live and then you watch it and it's like, well, this has already happened. Why does it put it down as live? You can't fast forward it. You can't change it. So it's like stuck in, you know, some live mode that you can't just skim through 11 hours of video real quick and get to the good stuff or what you're trying to find. And I didn't want to put the time in, and I just wanted to comment on it and say, well, no, look. So now the SpaceX Elon Musk hero, you know, more reason why we got to have our Space Force, and Elon's going to, you know, put together a, you know, are we going to see like a Star Trek, you know, vessel that's going to shoot up into space and be able to do all this stuff that, you know, they do in the movies? Maybe put a escape hatch, you know, or pods on the ISS so that these things can happen. I mean, have they ever seen a sci-fi movie? You just get in and you drop back down to Earth, don't you? But no. So the poking of the bear, where it goes from here, just a lot of scenarios to keep in mind. I'll leave it at that. Will they try to keep Trump from getting into office through some sort of ploys, you know, and then enrage the people that voted for him and that want the change, and now they're getting denied the change? Plus putting the person that lost the election possibly in the driver's seat of America. Oh, technically not voted in, but she's the first female president, and da-da-da. Like, that'll go over well. And as long as they keep a little skirmishes happening here and there, they can say, well, they're stuck in executive orders and whatever the time limit may be. They just got to, you know, blow up a building or a schoolyard or, you know, cause a, you know, little distraction somewhere for everybody to say, oh, well, you know, that war's still going on, and who knows what they would do. I'll leave it at that. Just a word to the wise. God bless, guys. We'll see.